Good morning. Before we start, I want to call out that I haven't added security vulnerability reviews to the agenda because it seems to be kind of a loosey-goosey thing. If there is spare time, I hope we'll get to invest some in security. Otherwise, I'll kind of background this, but I'm here and available to do that.
So Lucas, I actually put your agenda item from last week's that we didn't get to. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes, that is great.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Let's give it a couple more minutes. We won't have Shruti today as she is on vacation. But we can still, if we have quorum, we can still vote on the grant proposal that we have at the end of the agenda, and then we can still also obviously have the meeting. And she'll just watch the recording and catch up from there.
One, two, 3, 4, oh, 5. See, yes, now we have. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So in the interest of time, let's just go ahead and get started. So the first agenda item we have from Max, so we didn't get to it last week.
Yeah, the first agenda item is there's a DCO enforcement in the repository that requires you to sign off every Git commit. But the actual explanation what that means was missing. And so I just created a small pull request that adds the developer certificate of origin explanation and its text to the repository. But since it's somehow legal text thing, I think it's best to run it through the TSC and maybe clarify if that's what was intended with the DCO and if that matches. So that's the reason why I'm bringing it up here. A solution would be if someone could review this pull request and give okay that this was what we already, or if someone could just clarify that this is what was expected all the time or what was assumed all the time. And or otherwise some legal person could look at that.
What is the code owner on these files at the top of the repository? I don't remember.
I don't know. It's legal stuff, so it's like license.
Yeah, but you have also code owners for.
Okay, there are code owners for such stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there is anyone at the top level.
If it's if the TSC would say, hey, it's sufficient to have code owners approve that and they trust that this works, that's also fine for me. I just wanted to escalate that if it would be necessary to.
There should be code owner at the top level, but I don't don't see them. In fact, code owner. So I think yes, it's either Amar, Scott, or Hunter. And that's why I don't see them. It's really funny that we don't see them on the code, on your pull request.
Okay, then I will just, okay, if that's, then it's sufficient and I will just ask for code owner review. And
yeah, but it doesn't show on your, I think on your pull request. it doesn't show on your pull request the reviewers and the approvers.
No,
So,
yeah,
I think you need to maybe just manually request a review from Amar. You go to the code request on the
yeah, and
code
I know
owner
how
file.
that works. I just wanted to escalate it since it's potentially legal stuff. That and
Yeah.
it was suggested to me to run that by the TSC. Then I will just go through regular code owner review, and then that's fine.
For me, that's the best. I mean, yeah, and certainly maybe if the code owner say that, okay, maybe then they could involve legals, but I think that's a best way of doing it.
Yeah.
But for me, the main issue is that you added one file and you modified one file, and it doesn't show a forced reviewer. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, because Fritz. Yeah. For me, it's that's the most worrying thing is that we don't have a. Yeah. Because I mean, Fritz approve and is docs approver docs.
Yeah. Lico, who is I think docs approver, said I should run it through the TSC.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, so let's add DCO.
Okay.
I look at your changes. Sorry, in the meantime.
Then I think we can take that
Offline, maybe that would be better.
Offline and go to the next agenda item, and I will note that down as an outcome.
Great. All right, then we'll go ahead and move to the next topic, which disclosure review from Lucas.
Thank you for this time. The way that I intend to organize this is to kind of go through a slice of the open disclosures in any given meeting without intending to close all of them, just kind of make steady progress so I can use as much or as little time. I could definitely spend the rest of the meeting, but I don't think it's necessary. This disclosure, let me say, this came in through a review by a consulting group called the NCC group in 2017. This disclosure is, if it's real, I think it's valuable and important, but I'm not sure that it's still real. I would say that the next thing to do is for somebody to examine it to be sure this still exists. Let me talk briefly about what this is. Basically, the attack is that source IPs are used to identify clients, and those are obviously faulty and can be spoofed. So I wonder what the next step would be in moving this forward.
Lucas, so this is without the IPsec tunnel.
That's correct.
Right? But if we make the IPsec mandatory, so this issue will not be valid, right?
I agree. But IPsec isn't mandatory, is it?
It's a common practice. Yeah, it is not mandatory though. Yeah.
So would we consider this open or closed? So the fix would be to make IPsec mandatory. And is that a reasonable approach?
Yeah, so that's my thought. Yeah. So others can comment.
When we say IPsec, do you mean just using EEA not equal to EEA 0? Or like where is the IPsec that you're referring to? Is it in between the UE and the core, or is it between the core and?
It's between the Magma AGW and E node B or G node B.
Oh, okay.
So is it only for control plane or data plane? So if it is only
This
so
is
that
done for all the traffic that is flowing between E node B and
Okay.
Magma AGW.
yeah. Well, if it is for both, then IPsec is the
So
preferred option.
whether the IPsec support is already there in AGW as of now, or we are doing the testing with plain text.
Right now, in 5G, there is a option to enter the control plane signal. Whereas the data plane, OBS supports it. There was an action item on me to check on that. So OBS supports IPsec, but right now in AGW as such, it's not supported. So I'm discussing with Praveen to see how it works out. As such, right now it's not supported, but OBS supports it.
Okay, got it. On Magma control plane, we need to enable it in the pipeline D or whichever service has to go program the OBS. Right.
Yeah, right. When we say signaling, there is slightly separate mechanism for data plane. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
I wonder if we can assign an owner.
Yeah, I think you can. This is your wish. You can send to me.
Okay.
And if you're interested, we both can have a look at it.
Yeah. So Lucas, in the past you were showing another ticket related to IPsec. Yeah, I want to be part of this review for this particular disclosure.
This, will you send me your username?
Yeah, I'll send it offline.
And yes, this is related to another IPsec issue that I think is less pressing.
Yeah, so you can see, you can actually link it with that.
Send me your username and I will assign you. I'll add Yogesh and I'll follow up with both of you.
Yeah, so I'll be a reviewer in this. Yeah.
Okay. Next item, unsafe C, C++ string and memory operations, and just come down to this is an item that I propose just closing. The gist of it is third-party libraries are used that have C, C++, and don't appear to have been audited. So there are no known vulnerabilities, but there are also no unknown vulnerabilities, which is why I propose closing this as just being on the wrong side of ROI. If we don't close it for that reason, which is completely reasonable, what needs to happen is basically somebody needs to investigate, probably by switching GCC to flag use of unsafe functions, see what comes out, and define tickets from there. I actually am not sure if this is even still an issue. So let's start there. Are we currently compiling with flags to identify warnings on unsafe functions?
I don't remember a specific flag, but we can check it out. Yeah, I have not seen a flag. But of course, I don't remember all the combinations. I can have a look at it.
Okay. So I'll talk to you offline about enabling that flag, seeing what we get out of it, and then taking, deciding what to do after that.
Okay.
I should call it, we have a lot of C++, and that is traditionally the single best place for vulnerabilities. So we do have high risk there. How are we doing on time? Everybody good? Should I keep going?
Yep.
Good. Next item, this is 93. By the way, if anybody doesn't have access to the repo, let me know. Here's the current one that we're looking at. The proposal is basically to upgrade OpenSSH. And I talked to Tim on Slack, and Shivam kind of took leadership. I just wanted to check back on the status of this.
No update from my side. This is Shubham. So let's take it offline. Then yeah, we can work on this further. I'll also ping Tim on Slack and let's see if we have reviewed this.
That'll probably just get it done. It's just a pain.
Yeah.
This item is also a Tim item. The gist of it is somebody sitting at the console can do alt print screen on some systems, which obviously would be a complete, complete total access to any privilege you might care for. Tim, I think, acknowledged it and that he was going to look at it, but we haven't had further motion. What are people's thoughts? Is it?
Yeah. Can you clarify sitting at the console? What does sitting at the console mean? Does it imply physical access?
I think it's literally like an old school on-prem deployment. If you were sitting there with a keyboard attached to the CPU, that the motherboard would probably have this enabled, and somebody could get in. I think that's how far inside you have to be to activate this. It's pretty far. But I think that you would know whether that is actually a practice at some place like Freedom Fi. Like at Freedom Fi, there can be a system sitting in somebody's dining room.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I think that's the attack point. It's like that box in the dining room.
Yeah. And if you got his attack work, you just hit alt print screen in it. Logs you in.
Basically, yeah.
Really?
That's the claim. Again, this is based on a review in 2017, but could well still exist. I'd be surprised if it has been fixed since then.
Why don't you assign that to me, and I'll ask our guys to check if it still exists, and we can move from there.
Okay, so I'll stop right here and hand over the mic. Thanks for this slice of time, super valuable and productive. And that's it for me for today. I'll have another batch next week.
Great, thank you, Lucas. Okay, next topic from Yogesh, release timeline and plan for 1.7.1.
Yeah, it is a little bit off topic, but I just wanted to bring this up. I think we have planned for our next release, we had 1.7 and we have to go to 1.7.1. Just wanted to take the feedback. So the porting activities are started, whatever is there in master, it is landing on 1.7. But one issue with what we are having is changing this H file to HTTP files. What is happening is master and 1.7 started diverging too much. So how should we go about it? That's the first question I wanted to raise. So should we, porting will become challenging going forward with this fix. So any suggestions, anything?
Sorry, Yogesh, your voice is too low.
Okay, give me a second. Is it better to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'll just repeat. So I think we have to release 1.7 and the next plan is to release 1.7.1. So porting of the PRs from master to 1.7.1 is in progress, like Tim is helping us. But what's happening is master and 1.7 is now a little bit, it's not converging because on the H file we are making to HTTP and fixing on top of it. So it will not be a porting activity anymore. Like, it will not just cherry pick. I think we have to port it manually to make it 1.7.1. And so that was the first item. And second is tentatively we are planning in end of May, first week of June for all the things to be ready from the 5G side. We will reach out to the folks if we need help in CI/CD or some 4G staff will take the inputs. We'll plan for some meetings to get the feedback. But just wanted to bring it up if anyone has any comment, suggestion.
Yogesh, CI will happen. It's already happening on this branch, is it? 1.7.1 that being created. Is it created already?
I think there is no 1.7.1 branch. The 1.7 itself will be called as 1.7.1.
Okay.
So 1.7 will qualify for 1.7.1. So yeah, I think for specific CI/CD, I will reach out to the folks and I'll try to get the latest information. We used to run it in 1.7, but I don't know if it is still valid. It is still going on. How the benchmarking and other things are going to be there. So I will reach out to the folks, and if needed, we'll plan for a separate meeting. Yeah, so two things. I think master and 1.7 is started diverging, and so maybe we need to do manual fixing. Any cherry pick might not be straightforward. Second one was I will reach out to members and plan for a separate meeting on this specific release.
Yogesh, from ARM side also, we want to enable containerized AGW, not with extensive testing, but something of a pre-alpha quality. Yeah, probably we can discuss offline about how to add that as well. Yeah, good to know the timeline that it is June 1st week. Yeah, we'll try to finish our work before that.
So, it is a tentative timeline, Govind, meaning this is what we are thinking. Of course, if there is any feedback, I can take, but of course, we'll plan for a separate call so that we can deep dive into more details.
Sure. Yeah, we can have a separate call. Yeah.
Any feedback or comments? I will post this in the TSC channel so that if there is any suggestion, especially on the porting side, we can review. I think that's all from my side, Kendall. Back to you if there are no questions.
Thank you, Yogesh. All right, so the last thing that we have on the agenda is to vote on the Magma testing proposal. I know that there were some people who felt we needed to have more discussions. Did we, have we had those discussions?
Yes, Kendall, I had a discussion and OAI folks responded that they will maintain the CI and porting to ARM is something that we are still working on to work with the CI members, Tim, Shubham, and we are still waiting if anybody can take that ownership. Yeah, I have actually given my comments in the proposal. We can start the voting.
So just to clarify, I mean, Govin, a bit the OSA position. So the idea that first of all, for us, we need to get on board to understand the current infrastructure, and the faster we do that, the better, because we need to interact with a lot of people in the Magma community, and it has to be done quickly. As for me, from my point of view, I understand what we have right now, okay, and it doesn't run on ARM, and I think it should be an objective that not only the current Magma services, orchestrator, everything shall be running on ARM at some point in the future. I don't know who's doing that, but that's for me. You guys, I mean, you should be focused on. But also, for me, the current testing environment, okay, whatever is, shall be maintained, okay? For me, a testing environment does not need to have a platform requirement. For me, it's just a test tool. And for me, a test tool is not part of the product, okay? So it should not have a requirement as a supply. Nonetheless, for me, the part of will be developed by OSA. We will make it, for me, that's what we discussed just before this meeting internally. We need to make it platform independent. And for me, that's a very good point. And we need to, the new testers that will be used shall be running on any platform. And ARM is one of them, okay? For me, that's very important and something that I have focused with my team, okay?
Sure. So, yeah, Rafael. Yeah, so one question actually, I agree that you cannot work on the S1AP test and other things. So, but what you can actually think is, you are coming up with a test case where you will think test with OAI, E-node Bs, G-node Bs for standalone and non-standalone feature sets, right? And if that is going to be a two-node topology like this, right? I'm assuming it's going to be a two-node topology where OAI can run on x86. If you have plans to run it on ARM, that's also good. But we are currently interested on Node B, where we will be enabling containerized Magma HGW on ARM very soon. Hopefully, in the upcoming release, we are targeting that. If that is ready, and if you do basic test with SRS and UE attached test,
yeah, so
you can actually do this integration test with your OAI components. If you can add this as part of the proposal, that will be great. I see this as another set of test suites alternative to S1AP. I don't know about the test coverage that you are planning, but I'm assuming it will have a good coverage, and this will also work very well for us.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, what I did, I did, in fact, okay, so just you guys know, I will be starting at the end of this week in a 3-month hiatus. So someone of my organization will take my seat on the TSC for while I'm gone. And so I was discussing this topic about, for example, we have one OAI CI Magma pipeline where we are only testing the MME in the OAI topology. And what I was explaining is I don't in that particular test, I'm mainly interested in having a sanity check that in our topology we are able to do a basic attach and traffic test. Okay, And I don't do the full S1AP test, S1AP test suite, because I suppose that it's been done elsewhere. So for me, the main issue that we need to decide also as a point is how much test coverage we want to have when on the containerized Magma AGW on ARM, and the time that will be allocated on each PR. That's something that we need to have in discussion. We can start with a simple attach, and then we can maybe increase the test coverage. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good, Rafael. Yeah, you can do it in a phased way, so you need not finish everything in one milestone. So all we want is, I want you to add this as part of your milestone in a phased manner. That will be great, actually. Yeah.
Okay, I think I will pass on the information. I mean, I will.
Yeah. I have updated few comments. Please respond to that in this.
I will ask. I will talk with Sagar and Tin tomorrow, and I will ask them to answer you. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Rafael.
Okay, with that, do we want to vote on this proposal today or wait until next
Yes,
week?
we have, because the board is waiting for our vote, in fact.
Sure. Yeah, we can go for voting.
Okay, would someone like to raise the motion?
You mean I need to initiate the vote?
Yes, just saying that, that you're ready to vote, and then someone needs to second.
So yes, I will initiate the vote.
Okay, someone like to second? Just any of the voting members like to second the motion so we can go take it to a vote?
Should I say aye, or what should I say?
Sure. That's all you need to do there. So now we can take it to a vote. For all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Either say it out loud or put it in the chat.
Aye.
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 I think we got everyone there. Any opposed? Any abstains?
Yeah, abstain.
Right. Thanks, Joey. Right. Then with majority there, we pass the motion. Is approved. So the next steps for that, if the recommendation is not already typed up, we'll have Shruti or someone from the TSC type up the recommendation for the board, and these will go to the board for their next meeting, which will be mid-May. Great. Then
Okay.
that brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there any other business that people would like to bring up?
Just to confirm, so I will be off for 3 months. So that was my last meeting till August.
Okay, great. And who did you say was taking your spot?
So Mohit Vyas, I sent you.
Okay.
I will. He was attending a few of this meeting today. He was not able to attend, but he will start attending in place of me.
Perfect. Okay, great.
And
Sounds good.
And if you need more questions, I mean, don't hesitate to reach me on Slack this week before I shut down my connectivity.
I understand. Enjoy your time off.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.